Hi fantasy managers, welcome to FPL Team Talk. So in this video I'm going to go through how I got on in match day 4, look at the transfers I've used, what my strategy is going to be for match day 5, look at the captaincy options and team selection. So if you enjoy these sorts of videos, make sure you hit the like button, don't forget to subscribe, and in the meantime let's get into it. So a quick recap of how I got on in match day 4. Wasn't a bad overall haul, 73 points, ended up overall rank just, I think that will go up. I don't think the game's been updated at the time of recording, so just over 200,000. Some good sort of success stories for me, I suppose. Foden, Messi, Mbappe, pretty highly owned players to be fair. 3 clean sheets. Sosa didn't play, he was ill. He should be back for the next game, and I'm hoping he'll get his place back. Di Maria again was out. He possibly will play the next game, but we'll talk about him later on. And in any case, Klaassen didn't offer anything, and neither keeper got a clean sheet. Alvarez was a good haul for me, 6 points there, and the midfield's pretty barren as it has been throughout the whole tournament, but I would say at least Bruno, only 1 assist, but it is 1 assist. Despite getting a 6-goal haul, he could really have been a lot more involved, but overall I'm pretty happy with that. And you know what, I'm not taking it too seriously, it's a bit of fun. So I have made some transfers before the end of match day 4, preparation match day 5. I had that luxury to do, and I've got 5 to use. So in fact I'm going to go through those in a minute. Now remember, you do have 5 players from each team that you can use. You also have 4 transfers for match day 4, which I've already utilised, and then I've got 5 for match day 5 as well. So I've got that luxury, and the quarterfinals are looking like this. I mean, there's so many shocks and surprises during this World Cup. You have to say, really the only thing that's panned out differently than we probably would have expected is maybe Morocco getting through to the quarterfinals. But there's some strong teams in there, and the fact that a lot of teams didn't get a knocked that I had highly owned has really benefited me. I'm really pleased that I wildcarded in those early group games, because I don't think I would have really done much different with the side I've ended up with anyway. So teams to target, I definitely think Brazil are definitely one of those teams I'd like to target, in Portugal as well, Morocco and Croatia. Not saying that they couldn't win those games, but you'd have to fancy both Brazil and Portugal to get through. The other 2 games, and maybe Argentina are slight favourites. England, France, try not to be biased. Looks a really hard game to call, to be honest. So we'll have to just wait and see. But I do have transfers to be able to react and make changes as and when they happen. So let's have a look at my side. In goal, I'm going to go for Alisson. Kept him, so this is not a wild card side. You use those chips, so it's just purely Alisson keeps his place, and I'm pretty happy to do that. Croatia's a decent fixture, and I think they'll play the winner of the next round. I still think they've got a decent chance of getting all the way through. That could be Argentina, I think, in the next round, so that would be quite an interesting game. Cancelo comes in, so I've taken out Jordi Alba, same price, just going to keep Cancelo. I could go Dalot. He got a return in the last game. I don't know, I just feel like Cancelo, I've got the money and it doesn't really concern me. The budget can't really be used elsewhere. I'm happy to go for Cancelo, so I'm just going to go for that. I don't think Dalot's a bad call at all. He could easily outscore him, so maybe there's an argument that he's a better choice. Going for Danilo as well, have to keep an eye on him. I think he's got his place over Sandro. Doesn't offer a lot going forward, I have to say. Did consider going Thiago Silva or Marquinhos, but I just think as a fullback possibly could get forward more. But 5.5 million, again Croatia, Brazil have looked really good in that last round. Pretty tight as well. Happy to stick with Danilo, so I'm doubling up on that Brazilian defence, but given there's only 8 teams left in it, it's hard not to double up on that defence at all. Theo Hernandez, England, we know top scorers in the tournament. He's very attacking. 5 million, I'm happy to find a way into that French defence with that. I'm pretty okay with that. And then Sosa, he's got through. Will he play? I don't know. I don't have a lot of money to play with, so he could end up just not playing. And even if he does, against Brazil, I'm not expecting much, so he could possibly come out, and we'll look at my other defender in a minute. But Sosa he enables me to do so much. I'm not going to burn a transfer on a player that I think is playing and enables me to do so much as well. Moving into midfield, I have taken out Spanish Olmo, and then in comes Saka. It feels like a real barren amount of players. There's just not much to choose from in that midfield. Most attacking midfielders are just listed as forwards, and I don't want to use a forward slot with a lot of these players. Vinicius Junior, for instance, players like that. Even I just don't want to play it. Just don't want to use up an attacking slot. Even the likes of the Dembele would be interesting if he was down as midfielder. Saka's about as attacking as it gets. Happy to have him again. France, I think, is a good side. All these games are going to be tight, you'd expect. maybe won't. Maybe there will be 5-6 goal thrillers. I don't know, but I'm not expecting much. Class him for 6 million. Yeah, I'm happy to keep him. He's not a priority to get out the side against Argentina. Again, I'm not expecting Netherlands to do much, but he definitely starts because of the order of the games. And then Paqueta comes in as well into my midfield. I'm going to downgrade Di Maria. I think he should make the starting lineup for the next game. Gomez, who replaced him, didn't came off quite early, and because they were fairly comfortable in that game, Di Maria just didn't come on. He got complete rest, but I'm not convinced. And he's a lot of money, so I'm just going to downgrade him and then put that money up front. And Paqueta scored. Brazil playing so well. If they can get goals against Croatia, just hope that Paqueta chips in with something. Pretty happy to have him for 7 million. I'm happy to redistribute that money and put it elsewhere. And then we move up front. I'm not going to dwell too much on Mbappe. It's going to be difficult watch, really. There was rumours that he missed training, but we've heard nothing to say that he's going to be unfit. Part of me does want him to not play, even though he's one of the best players in the world against England. But we'll wait and see. 11.5 million, he's just got to be in all our sides, quite frankly. Be a painful watch if he does do well. But at the same time, he's good. Really, he's a good captaincy option. Messi against Netherlands, absolute must. Had him in the last game. He's got to be in there 10.5. And I've taken Alvarez even though he scored, and I have put in Richarlison. I think he just looks so good up front. I've got to play him on the bench. Netherlands, Noppert, 4.5 million. He would be the backup to Alisson. Alisson hopefully just gets that clean sheet first game. Won't even need to worry too much about Noppert. And then the next game, well, forget, of course they play each other, but I'm just not going to waste or burn a transfer on them. So it just have to be Alisson or nothing. Luke Shaw, 5 million. He possibly will come in for Sosa, but Sosa plays first. So again, just going to go for Luke Shaw. He's been in my side the whole way through. Wild cards and everything, just looks solid. I just think he's been great. It's hard to imagine sometimes that from an FPL point of view, you wonder why he's not playing sometimes for Man United, but obviously Dalot's got the nod. But he's been brilliant also for tournament so far. Midfield, I've got Bruno Fernandes. He played well, picked up an assist. Not enough money, he's expensive, but I'm pretty happy with having someone that attacking in that midfield. I've got no issues with Bruno Fernandes at all. Of course, he's not playing Spain in that game. That is incorrect. They'll be playing, who are they playing? Morocco. Of course, they've got Morocco in the quarterfinals. So the very last one, Foden keeps his place, 8.5 million. So that completes my side. That is the order that they'll play in. Captaincy options, I think it's hard not to pick Richarlison playing for Brazil. But first up, I'll probably go Messi first of all. I think that looks like a good shout, and then maybe go Richarlison after that. I don't want to touch England France. I just think that just looks too tight a game. Could go Bruno, but I just don't think there's so many other attacking players in that Portuguese side. I'm not convinced he's getting forward enough. But there you go. So Messi and Richarlison, see which one goes. If it gets a return from Messi, perhaps just stay on him. Quarterfinals, expecting them to be pretty tight. But we've seen what Brazil can do, and we even saw what Portugal did tonight. So that's my side. That's all for this one then, guys. We'll come straight back at you with more team selection videos later on in the week when it gets through to the semi-finals. But let me know in the comments below, who are you going to captain? Which players are you going to bring in to your Matchday 5 side? Is there anyone you think I'm overlooking? In the meantime, good luck with the rest of Matchday 5, and I shall speak to you soon.